Excellent news. A neighbour has donated this old pump to me, old water pump. This is the part that will fit onto the top of my well. I'll probably have to shorten the pipe, but everything is here. It's been sitting for 10 years because this part broke as well, and this seal is broken. So another little project, going to get this thing up and running again, cleaned up. I'm going to have to modify this a little bit to get it to work. I suspect that as well as this seal being gone, the seal that is on the bottom of this rod, or that must be on the bottom of this rod, has probably gone as well. Doesn't sound very good, so I'm going to have to get that out again as well. But for now, I'm just going to, these don't come off right now, but I'm just going to start soaking these regularly, a few times a day, until I can start taking this apart. So I managed eventually to get everything taken apart. This was really difficult. It took two of us with long metal poles, both of us pulling down with all our weight. But we eventually got it off. Got this off as well. This piece which goes on here. I'm going to have to drill a hole through this. Should be fairly easy because this is brass or some kind of alloy. And get it in there, put a bolt through, put the head back on, screw the handle in with the new seal, which I'm going to have to make. But first I'm going to drill this hole and find a suitable bolt and get this thing put back together. And of course, after putting all that together, I found that I had to be able to fit the entire assembly up through here, so there was no way it was going to go. Had to take it all apart, put it back together inside there, which is incredibly fiddly, but got it in. So just need to get this seal fixed, then I can put the handle back on. Beautiful morning. Yesterday evening, got the pump head and the pump foot nicely painted up. Always work on several projects simultaneously, so I also got the water container for the greenhouse painted at the same time. Going to have to do a second coat on that today. Handle, hopefully you can see in there where this old seal was broken. Haven't been able to find a new seal that I could buy and just slot in there, so what I've done is left the old seal in, but with an old inner tube made a new one, put it on there, contact adhesive, made a second piece to sit in the middle so that flexes, and that's going to stop the water coming out of that side of the pump. I'll put that together now. Then all I need to do is build the new cover for the well so I can actually sit this whole thing in. I think I'll probably paint this up today with the same green. Okay, it's kind of a side project. I've got this pump now basically fixed. Had to buy a couple of bolts, unfortunately, and these have to be shortened. But that's all. Once those are shortened, that's ready to go together. But to put it on the well, I need to make a lid for the well. I've got this old metal band, which is from an old cart wheel. Wooden wheel with a metal band. The wood's all rotted away, obviously, but so I'll start off by just cutting off all these old nails. Then I've got these nice pine planks which I sawed last spring, which I'll start laying out on the ground, cutting roughly to length, and I'll put the wheel band on top of them to draw the circle. And I'll cut the circle just with a chainsaw, possibly a jigsaw, to keep it neat. Put them together, put them inside the band, put some screws in through the... I'll drill holes all the way around here, put screws in through there, put it all together as a single piece. Then I'll put on a straight line with a chalk line, cut through here, cut these with the angle grinder, because what I want to do is have one small section of the well cover where I can put the pump, and the other piece will be on a hinge so I can lift it up to check the well and check the level and things. Haven't got hinges yet, but I'm guessing they're going to turn up at some point during the process. So I got those cut, just given a very, very light, really, really quick surface sanding, sanded the edges. I'm going to paint this. I generally like to leave the surface as natural wood, but this is the lid for the well, so it's going to be out in all weather. It's going to be under snow for half the year, so I'm going to paint it with the red earth paint that's traditional around here and that protects wood really well, really well. It's used on all the buildings. You can see it over there on my porch. Going to paint this both sides all the way around, get it all sealed up. This is the top surface. What I'll do is I'll turn it upside down. I'm going to put I was thinking about putting just a sheet of plastic under there, but I had a nice big offcut left from the roofing material that I used for the greenhouse, so cut that there. That's going to go on the underside, because the circle is bigger than the top of the well, and rather than have the wood resting on the concrete of the well ring, this will separate the wood from there and make the whole thing obviously watertight, or it's going to stop the rainwater going down into the well. Mission accomplished. A new lid for the well, 100 times better than the last one. I'm just leaving that band and the hinges as bare rusty metal. They're all very, very old. They've lasted this long, so they'll last a bit longer. This is the air vent from the old well lid, where it lets in the air but keeps out the frogs and the slugs. This an old handle I have sitting around for a long time, don't know where that came from. It's curling birch, or these bits. The pump itself is a little taller than I would have liked it, but at the height it is, the bottom of the pipe is just at the bottom of the well. So for all the hassle it's going to take to shorten it 20 centimeters or so, I'm not going to bother. I have to refit the filter and everything else. So it'll do there. All I've left to do is get those 3 bolts to go on the bottom, but I don't have those bolts. I'll pick them up next time I'm going past the shops. The other pipe which I have in the well is a bit short, so if we have a dry summer, I don't know if you can see, then I can run out of water, but now I've got a backup which goes right down to the bottom of the well. This lid, I put the hinges on both facing the same direction so that I can actually take this bigger part off if I need to go down there and do anything. Takes a little while for the water to get up into the pipe. But it's working. So in a shtf situation, I've always got water now without electricity. Time for a beer.